Hi everybody, it's Nikki here from Divatude, where it's all about who you are being and showing up as, that you're creating your amazing business model, your clients, your income and everything that you desire, not from marketing and not from sales and not from all that kind of stuff, but through who you are being. Now, I'm going to talk about something today that might be a little bit controversial to some people, because I know that a lot of the people who follow me here have come from other coaches who are pleasure-based coaches. And I'm not saying that they're doing anything wrong. I'm sure they're getting great results. But what I have seen to be true is a lot of people that come to me that don't like marketing, they've very often gone down the pleasure-based route. They might not have done that deliberately, that they're not actually following a coach or having coaching with somebody who helps with pleasure-based businesses, but they may be just doing it naturally themselves, that they're not really interested in the marketing, you're not really interested in the sales, in showing up and doing social media and all of that kind of stuff. So you just kind of end up defaulting into doing things that you do enjoy, like, going for walks in nature or spending time with your family or just doing other stuff, right? But the issue then always comes up that, people are in this pleasure zone. And you've seen me talk about pleasure a lot, right? And I talk about it a lot. I'm the pleasure queen. They're in this pleasure zone, but they're not in the money zone, right? So if this sounds like you, if you're living in pleasure, you've got all the well-being and all, feels wonderful, but there isn't enough money. And then something happens. So I want to explain to you what the issue is here and why you're not creating the money. I also want to give you the opportunity to have a solution for that. I will share with you what the solution is, but I will also share with you how you can actually have that solution for yourself. And it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, okay? So listen up if this is interesting, and I'll make this public so that you can share it. Not sure how to do that, but I might do that after the replay. So this is for you, especially if you're a coach or a singer or an artist, or you have any service at all. Like, for example, if you're a yoga teacher or a healer, this is for you. Whether you have an existing business or whether this is a part-time gig at the moment or a full-time gig, it doesn't really make a difference. And if you've never had a business and you're thinking about getting into business, this is going to be helpful for you too, because I think it will help you to not make the mistakes that most of us make. So usually what happens is most people start a business and they learn the business side of things, because the word business is, always about, well, what do we do? How do we create business? And most people go out with their business. If you're here live, do say hi so I know who I'm talking to. It'd be wonderful and I can make this relevant to you. A bit of a pop-up live today. Most people go out and they learn about these business tools, right? So I did it myself. I did it 17 years ago. I hired a business coach, in fact, which was actually even an unusual thing to do 17 years ago. But we all go out and we learn these different things. Now, the thing is that most of the people that I work with, people who I attract who don't love the business side of it, who don't love the marketing side of it and all of that, are usually more over in the arty type of person, the person who's really passionate about helping people, the person who's really passionate about bringing their expression, whatever that is, to other people, or healing people, or whatever that is, right? And so this is where, this is what your amazing thing is. This is what your brilliance is. So in the same way as I'm a singer and my passion is singing, and I love to help people, but the way that I like to help people is to help them to raise their consciousness. I've been doing that for 17 years. I used to do it as a singing coach. I did it then as a marketing coach. Now I'm doing it as what I call a Divatude coach. And I also don't only just help entrepreneurs anymore, I'm also helping people going through the criminal justice system. And so there's this whole area of passion that we all have. So if you're watching the replay here or you're live, you can type into the comments and let me know what your passion is, whether that's something you're already providing for people as a service, as a paid service, or it might just be an idea right now. Do type in and let me know where you are in your business too. If it's just an idea right now, or something you're trying to get off the ground, or it's something that's established. And then we go and we start to do the business side of things, and well, most people who are passionate about yoga and singing and helping people tend not to be passionate about social media and, you know, numbers and building funnels and writing content and having sales conversations and all of those kind of things, right? So give me some hearts or likes or something if you're hearing me on this. So the tendency in what I have seen to be true is that what tends to happen is we tend to either go for it and really burn ourselves out, and then that causes us to have to take a break, and then we're afraid that we might burn ourselves out again. And usually our wisdom will guide us in the direction of some pleasure, of, you know, trying to do things in a more relaxed kind of a way. Again, maybe you've been down the route of working with a pleasure-based business coach before, where they're teaching you ways that you can be in pleasure. And then another thing that can happen is that we get like a rabbit caught in headlights when we are overwhelmed by all of the things that you've got to do in your business, and you just take your foot off the gas. You just have an aversion to it. That's happened to me. In 17 years I've been through all of it, so that's happened to me as well. And it's just like, you know, I just don't want to do this, so I just go to the beach, or I go out and spend time with my family, or whatever it might be. But ultimately, either way, what ends up happening is, for most people, is they're not seeing the money in the bank. They're not seeing what the fruits of their labor manifest. They're going into this pleasure thing. They've been told that be in the pleasure, be in the moment. Maybe it's even meditating and healing and all of that kind of stuff too. That's part of what you're doing. And, you know, and then all the money will just arrive and the clients will just arrive, and it doesn't happen. And, you know, and then you start doubting all of that. Equally, you've been told, well, you've got this kind of like amazing system, this business system that's going to work, and you just have to follow these steps, and then you'll have the business that you want, and you'll have the clients and the money and everything that you want. And that doesn't work either, because, you know, you can do it and it might work, but it's not sustainable because you burn yourself out. It's not interesting. You don't want to get up every day and do that. You're more, you know, feeling drawn to the pleasure. So if this is you and you're feeling more drawn to the pleasure, but the money's not showing up in your bank, I'm going to share with you exactly why that's happening now. And then I'm going to share with you how, if you're interested in this, you can make sure that you're on top of this in future, so that you're having both the pleasure and the well-being and the money in the bank, which, you know, ultimately gives you a lot more well-being as well, right? So there's a kind of a loop here that's happening, right? And it's very innocent, and it happens to every single human being, me included, right? And the loop is, it's all got to do with thought. And the loop is that it's like a hamster wheel. We are desiring the money, and we are also desiring the pleasure and the well-being and the freedom and all of that kind of stuff. So we go in the direction of the freedom and the well-being, which is natural for us to want to follow, because as human beings, we all just want to feel better. And as we're over there, the bank balance starts to go down. The bills come in and the bank balance keeps going down. And many of us get very concerned with that number in the bank, right? I think maybe every single person on the planet, okay? And as we are going over there and putting our attention on this money going down, or this lack of money, or there is not enough money, or not enough clients, okay? And this is just one scenario. It could look different to you. It might be just that, you know, you want to make more money and it's not as much as you want to make. Depends on where you are in your business, okay? But as you start to put your focus over there, what it's actually doing is it's taking you out of that lovely feeling that you've been getting from being in your pleasures. So this is where the pleasure-based business is all really nice and everything, but if you're not maintaining that feeling, if you're over there, you're on the beach and you're having the walks and you're doing all the things you enjoy, but in your mind, you're busy thinking about how am I going to get clients, where's the next bill going to be paid from, all of that kind of stuff, then what you're actually doing is actually disconnecting yourself. So what I call this is you're actually tuning out of the diva frequency. The diva frequency is the frequency of creation. And that's where all your perfect clients are, right? And they could be anywhere. You know, if you don't like marketing and being online, the chances are they're probably not there. But if you like going to weddings, or you like hanging out at dance classes, there's a good chance that they're probably there, okay? Or that there's somebody that knows them there. And so we're taking ourselves out of the frequency of creation. We've never left it, but what we're doing is we are using the driver, which is thought, to create. And you're always creating. But if you're over there and you're having a nice time and you're in your pleasures, but you're thinking about there's not enough money, there's not enough clients, you're going to keep creating, there's not enough money, there's not enough clients. And so the well-being, the level of consciousness, as you continue to put your focus on this problem, I'm doing inverted commas here, on this problem, the thinking you're having that's causing you to feel bad. The amount of focus that you're putting over there, and as your level of consciousness drops, the less you're not going to create what it is that you want to. You're not going to see the opportunities, the synchronicities, where all those clients actually are, because you're so busy over here with all of this problem going on. So there's one solution, and it's actually a very easy solution, right? First of all, to understand who we really are as human beings. I say this over and over again. We create through thought. That's it. Simple as that. Thought moves through us, and we don't have control over which thoughts come into our brains, okay? It's like telling the weather to go away or telling the weather to stop. But we do have free will to choose which thoughts we focus on. So if you're having a nice life and you're doing all the things that you enjoy doing, if you start to suddenly find yourself getting distracted by other thoughts, usually most people will start going in that direction, even to the point where it'll look like, well, I have a problem with my bank balance, so therefore I need to go and fix that. So I'm going to go and do everything I can to fix it so that I can feel better. But what you're doing then is innocently, you're looking outside of yourself. If you fix the bank balance, you'll feel better. Where what's happening is you were already there in this lovely space, and you were already feeling better, and that's actually where the solution is. So you don't actually need to go and try to fix it. Now, you can go and, tend to your business. Of course, you need to tend to your business, right? From that better frequency. As I said, that's where you're going to get better ideas. That's where you're going to see synchronicities. That's where clients and money and that kind of stuff tend to sort of just fall out of the woodwork. Miracles literally happen when you're more tuned into this other frequency, this deeper frequency, this frequency of creation, which is just a nice, calm feeling. It's just a feeling like at home. And so what I do is I help people to stay tuned into that deeper frequency and to operate and run their businesses in a very simple way, from a business model structure that supports you being able to be flexible and to be able to follow the nice feelings and continue on your path of pleasure, but also making your business, everything you're doing in your business, pleasurable too, but really doing very little. So to give you one example, I work 3 hours a week, 3 weeks per month, and I take 3 months off every summer, right? And then now and again, when I get an idea, I'll come on and share it like I'm doing now, but like I'm literally in my bikini out sunbathing and I just popped on here, right? And that's my marketing, like that's it, okay? I have clients who don't use social media at all. I have clients who get all of their clients through events that they go to that are just social events that they just enjoy doing. And basically what this is down to is that we are innocently as human beings in a habit of going in the direction of the problem. The entire multi-billion-dollar coaching industry that keeps on growing has been built, therapy, all of it has been built on the idea that we need to fix ourselves. We need to fix the problem. But the thing is, you're not actually broken. So what you want to understand here is who you are as a human, as in who every human is, how human beings operate. And so I've been grounding and understanding how human beings operate for the last 9 years. There's one thing to remember, really. There's 3 things to remember. That's it. But the thing is that we're all out there in the world, in society, in the industry, in our background and how we were raised and our old woundings, all of that kind of stuff. We're all out there with all of that old programming on a regular basis. So that's our tendency. It tends to be our default, is to go in the direction of we need to fix ourselves, we need to find a way, we need to figure it out. When you understand who you are as a human, and when I say I'm grounding and understanding how humans operate, you only have to do it with yourself. I've been doing it with myself for the last 9 years, right? Understanding how I, as a human being, and how every other human being operates. It's really just that, I'm getting more in the habit of hanging out in a state of mind where I can see my true nature. And that includes me hanging out with other people who talk about this, other people who understand this, no matter where they are, right? No matter what stage they are at in their journey. Listening to, talks and whatever about this understanding of who we really are as human beings, that we are constantly creating, and that we create through thought, and that we have free will to choose which thoughts we put our attention to, and that which we put our attention to grows. So when you're caught in this hamster wheel and you're in your pleasures and you believe that everything's going to come to you and it doesn't, that's life reflecting back to you, telling you that you're thinking what you're seeing. What you're seeing is what you're thinking. If you're broke, it's because you're thinking you're broke, right? And we don't need to. So Divatude is about, you don't need to go in and fix that thought. Everything else out there in the self-development industry, in the coaching industry, in the healing industry is telling us we need to go in and fix the thought. So how can you get out of the habit of going in and fixing the thought, focusing on the thought, and not creating the money you desire? Well, you do it through being more, hanging out more in this way of thinking, hanging out with other people who think this way, and going into your life every day and being very conscious and aware of where your experience is coming from, and then making a choice to drop any thinking that's going on that might feel scary or doesn't feel good, or just noticing it, because it will drop as soon as you notice it, and then continuing to follow the good feelings despite what the rest of society is saying, despite what your bank balance might be saying right now. And it's the consistency of having that well-being that is the secret to having both the well-being and the income. The consistency of being in that vibration, what I call the diva vibration, the diva frequency, being there more often is what's going to give you the consistency in income too. So if this is interesting for you, I've been, as I said, grounding in this for 9 years. I'm 17 years in the coaching industry. I've had 2 marketing agencies. I have the skills and everything that you need to create a business model that's scalable, that's high ticket, that can give you anywhere from 50k to $1 million a year if you want it, depending on your needs and your requirements. But that's, very low tech, that's very simple, that takes very little of your time and is very aligned to keeping you in the diva frequency. We start with that foundation, and from there you surround yourselves with other people and the conversation and the things that you need to keep you in that diva frequency. So that includes a 6-month container called Divatude Academy, which we have 3 places available for still. We start on October 3rd, and it includes one-on-one support, group support, peer support, and a 24-hour hub where you can access each other. We limit the place to just 6 people, so like it's a tiny amount of people involved, and it's now a 6-month container. It used to be an 8-month container because the results are happening so fast for people. We don't need to have it at 8 months anymore. And if you're interested in joining us, the only thing you need to do is reach out and have a conversation with me. If this is an interesting thing that I've shared for you today, and you would like to move into this way of doing things, it might be to join the academy. It might look like something else to start off with, if that's too much for you right now. And I will share with you, I've made the price really low. So our clients usually make the return on investment with 1 sale. So if you've got 1 offer, which I'll help you create, you'll have 2 or 3 quite long one-on-one calls with start with me. And that's something we can even do immediately. You don't have to wait until October to do that. So if you sign up, you can go ahead with that right away, even if you don't pay the full amount straight away. And I do offer payment plans too, but you'll make your return on investment with just 1 sale. So everything that you make after that is profits, and it's going to change your life, not just your business, because when you're not worrying about your bank balance and where your next clients are coming from, and when you are giving yourself full permission to be in pleasure most of the time or all the time. And, and you're surrounded by other people who support that. And you start to see the evidence. So we keep a miracle book in Divatude Academy, and I keep my own here. I've got like a load of these now at this point. And every day I'm looking at every miracle that happens every day in my life, because miracles really do happen. It's just that we don't notice them. And when you start to see how hanging out in this deeper frequency, how hanging out in pleasure, but being consistently there and not being distracted by the fears and the beliefs, and being able to run your business from there, creates both the money and the well-being and the better relationships and the better sex life and the better health. I mean, I've 20 years of sciatica and 20 years of endometriosis just gone, completely disappeared almost overnight because of this understanding. No matter what you're going through, I've gone through a very, very, very messy custody battle for the last 4 years in 2 countries where I don't even speak the language, right? 2 foreign languages. And it's been difficult, it's been scary, and at the same time, I've still created a life of pleasure and a business that brings me all of the income that I need and more, working 3 hours a week and taking summers off and taking 1 week off every month. So if this was what you would love, and I'm not doing a ton of marketing, I show up when I want to, and most of my clients don't even come from my marketing. So if you are feeling drawn to this and you would like to have a conversation, send me a DM. And I'm on real slow burn holiday mode right now, so we'll just chat a little bit there. I have got an offer letter with all of the details of the academy, but if it feels like something that's aligned, we can book a call. And my calls are not sales calls, they're just a conversation. There's no gun to your head like you've got to pay now or else. I'll give you the pricing, I'll give you the payment plans, and then I'll keep you in the loop if anybody else is joining. But however, what I want to share with you is, as soon as you actually sign up and pay your first installment, if you decide to go with a payment plan, you can pay in full as well as a discount, we can actually get started with the one-on-one part of the program immediately. And that is where I'll be helping you create your high ticket offer and showing you exactly how to go out and market it. So the actual business part of it all happens with 2 to 3 calls one-on-one at the start. And then the rest of it is helping you stay in that diva frequency. And this round of Divatude Academy, is the 3rd round, has an emphasis on helping you be the best version of what you do, whether that's a coach, a healer, a yoga teacher, a singer, so that you're more focused on that and creating more impact, and how to show up and be working with your clients, that you're creating more impact. And then what tends to happen is you tend to get more repeat business and more referrals that way. So there's a hell of a lot less of you having to be visible or anything like that going on. So I put more emphasis on that in this round of Divatude Academy. And I also have a really amazing offer for people who've already gone through the academy, because if you go through the academy once and it's kind of like, okay, this is it now and I'm all good, but maybe there's more to be had. I've also just released, and I haven't even shared this to the public yet, but I've just released a follow-up. So for anyone who's already gone through Divatude Academy, or for those of you who are thinking of starting and then, are wondering what's next after that, I've just released another 6-month container, one-on-one access all areas, called Diva, which will actually help you and give you everything you need to become a certified Divatude coach. So literally you can take this way of coaching, which is not a method, it's just based on principles, and coach in this way as well. So if you don't already have an existing coaching business, this can be a way. And that access all areas is a 6-month one-on-one offer, but also gives you access to whatever round of Divatude is going on at the time. So you still get the peer support, the group, the one-on-one, and you also get 2 VIP retreats with me, so face-to-face, 2 days of coaching each time. So it's 4 days in entirety over 6 months with me here in Fuerteventura. And there's a payment plan for that as well, and there's also a full pay discount. So I'm very excited about this year, about who I'm supporting and who I can support. and I'm really looking forward to having conversations with whoever's interested. Feel free to share this. And also just know as well that if you're not an entrepreneur and if you're not a business owner and you want to have my help, this is something that is available from time to time too, when I have the time, when I'm on a slow burn. So right now I am. And so if there's somebody that you know, or if you yourself need help with a particular problem, whether that's in a relationship, with health, or whatever it might be, do feel free to reach out to me. And I do those coaching sessions at a reduced rate, because there's no return on investment or anything like that involved as a business coach. So it is definitely a way that I can help you as well if you'd like to do that. But either way, just send me a DM, start a conversation, and then we'll have a first call and see where we can take it from there. Have a great day, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Take care. Ciao.